Hello friends, Mermaid Megan here. It is day 17 of Vlogmas, and we are going to be talking about 6 different styles of Mermaid Kariel silicone tops, how they fit, the sculpt, the price point, so that you guys know a little bit more about them before you order. I want to start off by saying this video is not sponsored at all. I was not asked to make this, any of that. I just recently completed my collection. I own a top in each of these 6 styles that Kariel currently has released, and I find myself answering questions a lot about the fit and coverage, etc. of different styles, so I wanted to go ahead and make a video talking about that so that people can reference and get a little bit more in depth than I'm able to answer in a text response. My favorite thing about silicone tops is how comfortable they are. You get the beautiful magical mermaid look of a shell top without the discomfort or the weight of it. I don't wear my shell tops anymore because they're so much easier to damage and they're just heavy and uncomfortable. But silicone is really lightweight. You can paint it in any color you want, any sort of fantasy, bright, neon sparkles, whatever you like. It's not going to scrape off the way that paint does from a shell. And they're a lot more size flexible than natural seashells as well. Yes, silicone is usually going to be a lot more expensive than a real shell top and certainly more expensive than a fabric top, but I personally think that you more than make up for that price difference in your comfort and in the longevity of the top. If you're taking care of it and you're not being super rough on your top, it's going to last you a really, really long time, and it's going to continue looking amazing for a long time as well. I also really love, for Kariel's tops, she puts them on this nude mesh, and this is the really, really light color, but she does have a range. And it's really comfortable. It kind of fades into your skin, so it does give you that mermaid look of just wearing seashells. And they're a lot more size adjustable that way because you have these stretchy straps that can be tied to fit whoever's wearing it. I wear a 34D in American sizes, and my preferences are not necessarily going to be the same as everybody else. But in general, I'm kind of at a sweet spot where I can fit into all of these styles, whereas if I was a couple sizes smaller or larger, that would not be the case. So I'm going to give my personal opinion on the fit of these tops, the coverage, the comfort, etc. But remember, if you are a different size from me, or if you are the same size but a different bust shape, or prefer a little bit more or less coverage, you may have a different opinion about these tops. We're gonna start with this top right here, the Glam top. This one retails for $250 right now. It is an Ariel inspired top. I believe this colorway is actually called Ariel, but I don't remember. And I know her current Ariel colorway is a lot more bluey purple, and this one's a little bit more of a pinky purple. So the Glam top is a classic clamshell inspired sculpt with a band of seaweed around the bottom. On this colorway, it's painted turquoise, so it matches a ton of things. And there's a super cute little heart right there in the middle. And here is the Glam top on. Again, I'm a 34D, and I think that this top is sculpted perfectly for my size. I do think you could easily go down several sizes. This sculpt is not as deep in the cup as some of the other ones are, so you wouldn't have any awkward space. It would just wrap further around and come a little higher up, more like a bandeau top, versus this one where the shells are just on my bust. Depending on your comfort level with cleavage, you could possibly fit another 1 cup size or 1 sister size in this, but I wouldn't necessarily go a lot larger than that because I think you would be showing a little more skin than you wanted to. Obviously, this top was inspired by Ariel, and I do think that it is just about a perfect Ariel top. I mean, you really can't ask for anything more. It's got that classic clamshell shape, and I really love the teal seaweed on here because I think it helps tie it into her tail a little bit more. One of the great things about the medical grade silicone is that if you put your top on while your skin is dry and clean, it does stick really well to the skin, and it's going to hold that top in place really, really well. And you can also use it to kind of adjust how supportive the top is and where your busts are sitting in it. Up next, we have the scallop top. Now this one comes in 2 sizes. This is a medium that has actually been modified. So it has mesh in the middle. Normally it does have another shell in the middle, but this has 2 sunrise shells. and another kind of coral and seaweed band at the bottom. And normally instead of mesh, they do have a shell made of silicone in the middle connecting the top. This one had some defects in production, so it was split, and so this one's kind of a one-of-a-kind item that I have. The sunrise shell top retails for $350 right now. And this one is in an old colorway, and I can't remember if it was purple blue or blue purple. And here's the sunrise shell on. Again, this one is modified, so it looks slightly different, but the distance here is just about the same as it would be if it was still silicone. Now, this one is a medium that's been modified, and for my own preferences, if I was going to get another sunrise shell top in the future, I will definitely go for a large, because I do prefer just a little bit more coverage, particularly on the sides, than this one gives me. That said, I don't feel uncomfortable in this top, and I've never had a wardrobe malfunction with it. So I think if you don't mind a little extra skin showing at a 34D, you absolutely can wear the medium sunrise shell. But for my own preference, I will go with a large in the future. This sculpt, again, does not have very deep cups, so you can definitely wear this as a much smaller cup size. But if you're any larger than me, I would definitely size up and get the large. This is the scallop top. So we have two scallop shells with a nautilus in the middle and that seaweed band at the bottom. Retails for $350 right now. This one is the colorway Aquamarine, and I think as of making this video in December 2022, there might still be a couple aquamarine tops on the website. The scallop sculpt is a lot more detailed than the past two, so you get a lot more light reflection off of each of those little ridges, and you can really see the variation in color on it. Here is the scallop on. I love this top, and I hesitated to order it for the longest time because I was so worried, because this is one of the shorter sculpts from the underbust line to the top of the cup. It's a little bit shorter than some of the other sculpts, and I was really worried that I was going to pop out over the top, but I do not, and I have not. It is super comfortable. It feels a little bit more like a balconette bra in terms of the support and the shape that it gives you. For my own comfort, I would not go any larger than a 34D in this top. You could definitely do a sister size like a 32 double D or a 36C, but I would probably not do a larger cup size than I am, but this would definitely fit a smaller cup size. It is a little bit deeper of a cup than the sunrise shell, so if you are very, very small chested, you may want to try one of these on if you can before you order it, because there could be some extra space for you. I do find that my cleavage is a little bit more prominent in this style versus some of the others, because it does have that lower line across the front as well as this nautilus shell separating them. So if you're particularly uncomfortable showing cleavage, I would maybe look at a different style before you looked at this one, because this does have a little bit more open of a front. And here is the seaweed top. The seaweed top is also $350. And like my modified sunrise shell, it has mesh in the middle, but this one is actually designed to be that way, so they all have mesh in the middle. This is one of the larger sculpts, and this one was in the colorway teal. I love how the seaweed just gracefully wraps up the bust. I think it looks really natural, and this top also has really great support because of the way it's shaped. And here's a look at the seaweed on. This one I feel like is one of the most natural, comfortable feeling bras. It fits really well with the natural shape of my bust, so I feel even less like I'm wearing a mermaid top than I do with the other ones. This is one of the larger tops that Kariel has available right now. It is larger in the sculpt. I think it fits really, really well. You could go up one, maybe even two cup sizes from 34D and have plenty of space to fit, but I would not go too far down because this is a deeper cup sculpt. Plus, you have this mesh in the middle that gives you some extra stretch around the band, and you can pull the cups a little bit further apart for more coverage if you prefer. You also have a lot more height here in the cup, so if you prefer to be a little bit more covered up, this does give you that feeling, even though it's still more open in the middle, because the top does come all the way up to here. I think this sculpt is extra fantastic if your busts carry more weight at the bottom than being rounded on top, because it does have a very natural shape to it. And so if your bust does tend to carry more weight towards the bottom, it will feel really nice and natural and not like you're pushing your bust into something that isn't shaped correctly for it. That said, it's still definitely not uncomfortable if that's not your bust shape. This shape is the most similar to a traditional triangle bikini top, so if that's something you're really comfortable in and are used to wearing, this could be a good transition to silicone tops and how they feel, because the shape is going to be the most similar and feel familiar to you. Up next, we have the exciting. This is another seaweed style. This is my newest Kariel top. This one is in the colorway Very Nice, so it's icy blue and lavender. And for this one, the fronds of seaweed wrap up and around the bust coming from the middle. And then we have a nice little spiral shell right there in the middle of it. This is the largest sculpt that is currently available. The starlet is coming sometime soon, I believe. And it is a larger sculpt than this and will come in more sizes. But right now, this is the largest sculpt, and with the bandeau style, it fits a lot longer around the bust than some of the other ones do. And the exciting retails for $400. Here is the exciting on. This is the largest sculpt that Kariel currently has, and I think you could definitely go up a couple sizes from where I am at, maybe even more, depending on your comfort level with skin showing. And while I personally don't have experience wearing this with a very small bust, I have been told that it does look really, really cute on smaller busts as well, because you can wrap it further around like a bandeau top. This one goes fully halfway around my rib cage, all the way to the side. And I even have a little extra space right underneath as well, so it definitely could fit a larger bust. I like to pull mine down a little bit so it looks more open in the middle, but you can definitely adjust it for a little more coverage of your cleavage as well. The exciting top feels very supportive, and it also comes up a little higher than some of the others, all the way out to the armpit. So if that is an area that you like a little extra coverage, this is the perfect top for you. This one right here is the Idol. This is the most detailed top that Kariel makes. And this one happens to be a one of a kind. So this one, the white color you see in the middle, that's super iridescent, that's the pearl colorway. And then it also has some lavender details. This one retails for $400. I mean, look at all of that detail. I think it's super worth it. And as we go around, our clamshells are framed by seaweed with pearls. There's starfish, smaller little shells, a nautilus again in the middle, and then all that detail continues on the other side. And here is the Idol. I love this sculpt so much. It is just gorgeous. All of the detail is so beautiful, and I've yet to see a colorway that this top does not look absolutely fantastic in. This one is another deeper cup sculpt. Again, I'm a 34D. I think it fits perfectly. You could definitely go up one size, maybe a smidge more if you're comfortable with a lot of skin showing, but I wouldn't go up much more than that. And you could go down a few sizes as well, but since the cups are more rounded and a little deeper, if you go down too much, there will probably be some extra space. All of these detailed pieces here, the seaweed and coral band helps to give you a little more coverage down here. So if that's something you prefer, this could be a really good top for you to look into. This one just happens to be a little extra special to me because it is one of a kind. This sculpt in particular feels a lot more supportive to me than the sunrise shell because the cups are a lot more shaped, as well as being taller and wider than the medium sunrise shell. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I hope that this helps you with any questions you have about Kariel tops or silicone mermaid tops in general. If you enjoyed today's video, remember to subscribe to my channel for more mermaid content and to follow along with the rest of my Vlogmas adventures. Like and comment on this video and tell me if you have any silicone tops in your mermaid collection already. And I will see you all next time. Bye! I have to cut that out. Oh my god. I'm getting so slap happy now.